Right leg, let's go. Keep the standing foot firm on the floor and try and get a bit of movement as high as you can. As you can see, some of the girls can get their foot very high. These are the ones that have probably done gymnastics. Certainly Maya, straight ahead of us here in the black. Okay, so what we're going to do is 10 of each leg. I am looking for not just the movements of the leg, I'm looking for the foot being firm on the floor, pointing forwards, and not much movement if possible. So you can see some of them are actually, there's a bit of foot movement. In time, that will come. Just your normal leg swings now. Okay, so we'll do outside leg, yep, 10, and then switch around and do the other leg. Okay, so you can see some of them will leave their lead arm forward, some will move their arm. Personally, I like them to move their arm, so if you focus again on Maya, this is how I like it done. She's the newest one to the group, but she's actually coming back with a bent elbow. She's actually doing it quite well. Her hand here is a little bit high. So Maya, if you drop your hand and brush your hip pocket, then we come back with the right angle in the arm, which is what I like. If you focus on DK, what you can see with his arm is it's lengthening. So his hand is below his hip pocket. So I want you to raise your hand to your hip pocket, DK, and throw the elbow back. There we are, that's what I like, okay? Right, thanks DK, right. This is one, if you ever see any athletes doing this particular warm-up drill, you will probably know they're my athlete, okay? What I'm looking for is the same arm, the same leg, but they keep trying to keep the bend in the leg, and they're trying to keep the bend in the arm. So if you all face that way, okay, we'll do the outside arm and leg. Remember, we're looking to get the momentum. I want you to throw the elbow back as if there's someone behind you that you don't like, okay? All right, we ready, guys? Get in position, knee up, elbow back, and let's go. All right, that's good. Okay, so again, brush your hip pockets. If you brush your hip pocket, you'll be able to maintain that right angle. Okay, 10 with each leg, turn round. And again, DK's just opening his arm a little bit. He needs to get his hand a little bit higher. And behind him, we've got Scarlett. Again, she's extending her arm. Just come back with the elbow, Scarlett. Okay, that's right. That's the first part of their general warm-up. Now, every athlete is different, and every athlete will have different requirements, but most of my athletes will do that warm-up, 90% of the time. Sometimes the odd athlete might need to put another drill in or do a little bit of extra stretching or whatever, but pretty well that will do them. They get used to that warm-up, and when they go to competitions, they will do that to a degree, possibly watered down a little bit, but not very much. The next phase of the warm-up is where we actually go over the hurdles, and these are what I call popovers. So this is the last phase of these athletes' warm-up, where they go over some hurdles. What I've actually done, I've set out 4 hurdles for them to go over. Generally ask them to do 3 runs, and when you get to see the hurdles, they're actually at different heights. My athletes are used to going over hurdles slightly higher than what they race at times. They sometimes raise their eyebrows, but they all do it. What that means is they get a little bit more of a push off than they would ordinarily. The hips have to work, the trail leg has to come around, and it prepares them for when they go up into the next age group. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to send one athlete down on the 76 metre height, be one of the older ones. So this is sometimes where they go over a lower hurdle. And generally we start low, work our way high. Not always, but sometimes most times we do that. Sometimes we start high and come down low. What they'll probably ask me is what markings they are on. I always tend to put the first hurdle on the blue marking, which is the senior men's marking. And then it's a question of how many pigeon steps they are from the next blue marking. So I've set these out on blue plus 4 of my pigeon steps. This bit of it I do vary. So where we are at the moment, we're in November. So they tend to be going over for, well, the older ones maybe 5 or 6. And then during the course of the winter, that gap gets wider, which means they have to go just a fraction faster. So they generally get up to sort of blue plus 9, blue plus 10. The gap here of blue plus 4 will be quite close for him. So he needs to probably start a little bit closer in, possibly. Okay. All right, okay, so just do your normal popovers. This is where they get 5 strides. Lovely. Maya is, as I said earlier, she's one of our newer athletes. Okay, that's not too bad. So Maya, even though she's a first year under 15, I'm going to let her go over the next height on her next run. Okay, take it away. This is Scarlett, Watford Harrier. Just a little bit heavy on landing. All these athletes are still wearing their trainers. We now have Grace, another under 17 athlete. Grace is a multi-events athlete. I'd like a trail leg to come a little bit higher if possible. Here comes Jess, you saw earlier doing the claw de floors. But they're all going to now go over the middle lane, which is actually the height for senior women. Okay, take it away, Ruben. So they're still going to be doing 5 striding. And this is still the warm-up. DK, take it away. Maya, get ready. Okay, so we saw DK there, just clip it with his lead foot. Okay. Yeah, come a little bit closer, Maya. Okay, take it away. Right, so, okay, still early days, but that was a decent effort. As you can see, just a little bit loud, just clip that again. Okay, a bit lighter, that's good. As you can see, they're trying to keep I've not mentioned it to them, but they're trying to keep the elbow bent. This is Jess. Jess is actually technically pretty good. She's been with me the longest of this group. So what they've done so far is that they have gone over the low height, the middle height. Now, they have a choice, okay? And I'm not expecting the 12-year-olds to go over the bigger hurdle, but they can if they want to. I'm expecting you, Ruben, and some of the more senior girls, Jess, Amber, Kirsty, okay, to give it a go, all right? Grace as well, you can give it a go. The rest of you, if you don't want to do the bigger hurdle, you go back down the middle again. Okay, remember this is still the warm-up, so try and get that trail leg up and round. As soon as you're ready, Ruben. So this is race height for Ruben. He's the only one here that it is the race height for. Okay, DK. DK's staying with the middle lane, which is fine. Just a bit twisty. We can see a lot when they're doing 5 striding. Okay. Right, so Maya, not the best technique in the world, but like I say, she's very novice-y. This is Scarlett, who was pretty decent last year as an under 15. And Kirsty's going to give a go at this height now. Nice. Just a little bit straight-legged with the lead leg. But not too bad at all. Jess is going for the bigger height, which she does very comfortably. I'm pretty sure Jess might have gone higher than that. They've basically now finished their warm-up, which has taken a good part of 40 minutes, I would say, something like that. They tend to do that warm-up or a variation of it for competitions, not necessarily all of it. They need obviously to be fresh when they start their races, but essentially it's pretty well the same drills. If they're going to championships and they have heats, semis and finals, they don't need to do that volume between the heats and the semis, between the semis and the finals. So we reduce that right down, and take out the bits that we feel they need to do. So if they're not feeling snappy, then we'll maybe focus on the claw the floors, the trail leg drills, the bent arm, bent leg swing, which is quite a good one to do. But they don't need the whole caboodle, basically. With the hurdling, it's very important that they get a full recovery as much as possible. So ordinarily, I would probably give them over 4 hurdles, 2 or possibly 3 runs, and then they have a recovery. If you shorten the recovery too much, then little errors creep in. We saw it with 1 or 2 of them where they were just nicking hurdles, nothing too serious. But there's a limit at this stage of the year, which is November. There's a limit to how much these athletes can actually do.